It's Monday! That means it's a new week and I have literally just come back from Bolton. I left my friend's place this morning around just before 12. I went to the Trafford Centre because I had a couple of things to pick up, and then I ended up getting lost in Trafford Centre. Obviously anyone who lives in Manchester or who's been to Trafford Centre will know it's fairly big, but I used to live in Manchester, so I'm quite familiar with how big Trafford Centre is and where the shops are located. But they've changed certain places around in the Trafford Centre, so I was trying to find Marks and Spencer because, not because I bought anything from there because we boycotting that place, but I had actually parked my car on that same side where Marks and Spencer's was, so I walked through Marks and Spencer's to get into the Trafford Centre, and yeah, I got lost. I didn't even realise it was possible to get lost in the Trafford Centre. It took me longer than usual to get back home. I was supposed to be coming back last night, but the weekend just flew by and it was like we hadn't even spent that much time with each other. It felt like I'd only been there for a night, even though I was there for 2 nights. I feel like the whole day's flown by, but I probably needed it because I went to her house and I was there for 3 days, and now I feel like I kind of needed a little bit of space from her as well. Maybe I just needed some space by myself. Now the plan was to get home for around 3 o'clock. It's now around 5:30. I'm going to get down to doing some work. I have a couple of emails to send out. I also have some content to create. I did plan to go into the office today, but there's literally no point. I'm going to try and create some content from home today. Let's see how I get on. As you can see, I've kind of done my makeup decently today, so I kind of want to make use of that because I don't usually wear makeup every single day. So on the days where I do wear makeup, I tend to create content. So as you guys are aware, because of course you're on this process with me, I have a sales team who are doing outreach for me. So we literally hired a sales team last week. In that time, we've already lost 2 sales reps. Both myself and my accountability partner were aware that this would happen. We had managed to get on board 7 sales reps initially, which is a really great number. It exceeded what we initially wanted. So now we have 5 sales reps, which is fine, like I said, but literally none of them have updated us on how they're getting on since last week. So we have no idea whether we have clients that are about to be signed, if there's even any interest from potential clients, nothing. So that's what I'm going to get onto right now. Get in contact with them all, find out what's going on, because it's definitely not a great start. For me, I want to have at least 1 client signed on by the end of this month, even if I have to do it myself. If no one is pulling their weight, then I will just do it by myself. I really don't care. I'm not relying on anyone to bring in my bread. Is that what people say? I'm not relying on anyone to help me get to where I need to go. Everybody tells me you can't run a business without other people, and I get that in the long run, but I'm still at the very beginning of my agency journey. It's going to take me time to get to where I want to go. I'm not in the same stage as most people because I've already been in the stage of failing with my agency and making so many mistakes already. I really want to work hard this month and get myself to where I need to be in terms of getting an agency client signed on for these new services that I've put together. Wish me luck. There's a lot to do this week and there's no messing around, so I promised I would be consistent with vlogging, so that's the reason why I picked up my camera today, even though it's quite late. Let's start this week on a positive note. I went to Archie's in Trafford Centre. I love Archie's. I feel like their milkshakes are one of the best in the UK. Went to Archie's to get a milkshake and their milkshake machine was broken. I felt like that was a sign for me from God to be like, yeah, you don't need to have that milkshake. You should stick to your healthy eating. So instead of getting a milkshake, I ended up getting a smoothie. I may potentially go to the gym. It's on the cards, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't usually go to the gym on a Monday, but because I missed my kind of 3 days of going to the gym last week, I kind of feel like I have to make up for that now this week. So I may go to the gym tonight. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Today's moving out day for my office anyway, not for me. I'm not moving out of my parents' house just yet. I've already started packing everything. The only thing I actually have left is this sign on the wall. Let me just show you. So as you can see, I've already emptied out that bin. There was a couple of things on the desk, like a whiteboard and some pens, etc. But I've gotten rid of those as well. Everything's in that bag. I've got my camera bag there. I literally brought that with me so that I could carry my camera. I've managed to get everything into 2 bags. That was in my desk anyway. And then I've got all my lighting equipment in here. Now in this bag, I've just about managed to get like my ring light and my 2 big softbox lighting into there. It was a bit of a tight squeeze, but we managed. And in here, I've got a couple of like camera bits. And yep, as you can see, if I open this drawer, completely empty. I don't know if this needs a clean. There were literally just letters and stuff in here. That wasn't a big job to empty. I have to give back the office as I got it, and obviously it didn't have the sign up there. Wish me luck. Very, very slight bit of damage there to the wall where the paint's kind of come off after peeling off the wall decal, but hey ho, you're gonna get a little bit of damage when you do things like that to the wall. Of course I still need to move those out, but I'm gonna carry those out anyway. This is the last time I'll be vlogging from this office. So many good memories have been made in this office, like a new client signed, mental breakdowns, and I guess just self-development and progress in my business as well. It's kind of bittersweet that I'm now letting go of this space, but it's about time. I'm definitely moving on to bigger and better things, and this office was weighing me down in some way. I don't want to be tied to any location anymore. So yeah, bye for now. I've literally just given my office back now. I handed in the keys to the building manager, Majid. I've put all of my things in my car, everything's in the boot. I am ready to get out of here. I just wanted location freedom. I didn't want to have to worry about having to pay monthly rent for an office. There's a period where I wasn't even working with any clients. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't even able to afford to pay my monthly rent on this office, even though it was fairly cheap. But it's like, when you're not making any money, where's that money supposed to come from? So I'm so grateful because the office was there when I really needed it, but I don't need it anymore. I can work from home, I can work from anywhere, which I feel so lucky and so blessed to be able to do. So right now I'm going to be working from home. The plan is to find an apartment and I will create an office space in there. I'm just going to bring you a little bit closer. I don't know if it's I think it's a little bit wonky. Obviously it's not great that I had to pay 3 months rent when I tried to get out of my lease agreement, but it's a lot. If you rent out a place, if you rent out an apartment, rent out an office in the UK, you have to commit to paying the rent on that place until your tenancy is over, which my tenancy was over tomorrow. I paid £200 deposit to secure that office, so I'll be getting that back, which is good because I'm going to be reinvesting that back into my business. It's so awkward like vlogging in the car. This is the first time I've done it, and I feel like everyone who's walking past is just staring at me, talking to myself.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
But hey ho, 2024 is all about not being afraid to do things that I was afraid to do before, not actually giving a shit what other people think about me, and doing things that make me happy. And I think vlogging definitely does make me happy. It helps me get everything down in my head onto camera. When things are out in the open, it makes it more realistic and more achievable. I still need to get like a webcam or an external camera for my laptop, because the camera quality on my laptop is so poor. I always look blurred every time I'm video calling someone. So that's something that I need to get sorted out ASAP. So that's probably one thing that I might invest into when I get the £200 back. But it is something I really need. Yeah, I'm kind of procrastinating at this moment in time, sitting in my car. Obviously I need to get going as well. But I do have a couple of calls to make to our sales team to see how they're getting on, because it is now the second week. I want to know exactly what's going on, what everybody's up to, how they're getting on, etc. After the calls, I'm probably going to go home. I don't really have anywhere else to be. So we have between 5 to 6 sales reps working on both agencies for outreach. I've just contacted all of them. 4 of them I managed to get through to. Was it 4 of them? Everyone kind of now seems to know what they're doing, which is also great because there was some confusion, people struggling to get started. Now that the confusion has been squashed and everybody knows what they're doing, I can now finally get on with what I need to do. Righty-ho. Let me just call Harpreet and update her on these sales calls and how they've gone.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07711.
Maybe not. So I have some news for you.
Are you at the office?
Finally, yay! Yay! And guess what? I get my deposit back in like 24 hours. Yay! Yay! And also, I've contacted every one of our sales reps now. Yay!
Did they answer? Yay!
Well, So she's starting tomorrow. David's starting sometime this week. Alan said he's going to be starting next week. Obviously, I've not heard from the rest of them, which is Courtney and...
Which is fine. We'll just stick with these three, and that's what we'll put our power into.
Yeah, exactly. After this 3-month period, if you're doing well and you're one of our top performing sales reps and we want to keep you on, we will have that discussion with you that, okay, we want to compensate you, we want to keep you on. Let's give you a monthly retainer instead of this other commission structure that we have. We'll do something that's mutually beneficial for both us as a business, but also for you as a sales rep. And I said, does that sound fair? And he said, yeah, no, that sounds fair. I'm going to be worried if we don't get any clients this month. I think mid this month, there's no traction, there's nothing moving. We're going to have to go back onto rehiring people.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh, I actually look worse for wear. It's taken me a while to pick up the camera this week and start vlogging, but it's just been a crazy week. I had an accident on the weekend, a car accident. Thankfully, I'm fine. And the car I collided with, everybody in that car was also fine. Praise God. It makes you grateful for life, but it just also made me realise that I've just not been okay. This week's been difficult. I had the accident on the weekend. I've been without a car, dealing with so much crap when it comes to my insurance. It's a write-off, which means that I don't have a car until I decide to get a new one, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of reconsidering whether I should drive. Maybe I need a break. I've just been feeling like mental exhaustion. Things have been really weighing on me this week. My mum's not been well. She suffers with mental health. So that's been difficult to deal with because I'm taking on more responsibility at home with helping my family. So it's been difficult. I feel like my business has been put on a little bit of a back burner. I've had a cry here and there. I mean, I had a cry today. This is why my eyes are looking really swollen. I feel a little bit embarrassed coming on here and letting you know that I didn't have a cry today, but I think it's important that we are honest with ourselves about how difficult business can be and how difficult life can be and how difficult it's being an entrepreneur and juggling your business when you have other crap to deal with is not easy. And as a woman, I feel like we have different types of crap to deal with. I was off for a week from the gym because I was on my period. That in itself was difficult to deal with, and then literally as soon as I kind of finished my period, the accident happened. In fact, I was still on my period whilst I had the accident, so I was dealing with that. So already feeling quite low in mood because when I'm not going to the gym, I'm not working out, it really affects my mood, it affects my mental health so much. This is one of the reasons why I'm such a big advocate of working out if you don't already work out, because it just changes you, it changes your mindset, it changes your body, it makes you feel great. It's everything just happened all at once. I think sometimes you go through these phases where things just happen all at once and you start questioning life, you start questioning your worth. I also realized that I'm in a phase of my life where I'm just feeling really stressed, and if I continue with the way that I'm going, I'm probably gonna have a mental breakdown. So I am planning to potentially go away, book a holiday, because I've not been away since last year November. I usually go away every few months, so I think it's time. I need a vitamin D top up. Just be in the sun, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy good food, just be in a different environment, even if it's just for 1 week or 2 weeks. I need that rest. Come back with a fresh perspective, fresh mind. I'm actually about to jump on a call with my accountability partner. We're going to be doing a late night session, working on getting our onboarding process complete. Really, this client onboarding process should have been complete, but I've had issues with Flowsy the last couple of days. It's just been so glitchy. They need to fix it ASAP. But because we've already paid for it, beggars can't be choosers, so I'm still going to use it. If you touch one thing, something else messes up. If you delete one thing, 10 other things delete. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. This isn't even my onboarding process that I'm working on. It's actually my accountability partner's onboarding process because she's not technical. She doesn't really know how to do any of this, so I said I would help her with it. Over the weekend, I'm actually going to complete mine. That's the plan. Anyway, wish me luck because it looks like we're gonna finish at midnight. I've now started getting into reading books. I was recommended this book by my accountability partner. It's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, but I've not started it yet. I ordered it literally like a couple of days ago and it came yesterday or the day before. So the plan is to start this tonight, hopefully, if I'm able to get this work done. Train your mind for peace and purpose every day. I need that. I need that reminder how I can achieve peace and purpose in my life every day. So this is supposed to be one of those self-help type of books, and I'm starting to get into those a lot more now. This is the first one. I'll let you know my thoughts if I actually complete the book. I'm sure I will. I'm a big fan of Jay Shetty. I think his podcast is really great, so I'm looking forward to getting into this. What are you doing? Are you sat in the kitchen or are you sat in the living room?
I'm in the living room because my battery is 61, but I know at some point I'm going to have to get uncomfortable and come back. So I'm not to stay here.
Yeah, exactly.
I always get cold in there. So I want to know, do you feel better?
I feel better, yeah. Funnily enough, when I was praying, I lay it out then as well. I thought that was the end of it, but clearly it wasn't.
Just remember what you pray for, you will get. God's watching. You believe in it, right?
I do. No, I do.
There's no point otherwise if you don't believe in His plan.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. It's just obviously the mindset, isn't it? I need to get my mindset right. They've not gotten back to us. Alan, I think he tried to send his back. David, I've not heard anything from. He's like fallen off the face of the earth.
No notes or nothing?
Nothing at all. Nothing there, look. We've done the audience survey. That part was done. Next step was...
Oh my God, you're not wasting time today. You're digging right into flow.
Yeah, we may as well, right? We've got loads to do. It's been like almost a week, I think, since I've even picked up the camera to vlog. I do feel like I'm slowly starting to get back to my normal self, which is good. It's been busy. We've gone back into hiring for sales reps again, which we started maybe 2 weeks ago now. We've kind of come towards the end of it now, but it's still an ongoing process. I no longer have a car. That's the first thing. I decided not to retain the car because it was quite badly damaged. I've been paid out for the car, which is a good thing. I know that what I got for the car is more than I would have got for it if I had tried to repair it and sell it myself, so that's one positive thing. The second thing is I've been working on myself. I started reading Jay Shetty's book, Think Like a Monk. There's certain tasks that he's got in there, which I've actually started working on. One thing that my accountability partner suggested, she has like a background in counselling, mental health, that sort of stuff. She suggested that I write a letter and burn it. In the letter you just write everything that you're feeling. You would go back as far as when all this shit happened. And the idea is to get all of your demons down on paper and then burn it, as in you've now let them go, you've released all of that from yourself. And it's a form of healing, I guess. I've started the process. The aim is to get it all finished by Sunday and then actually go and then burn it on Monday. When she was telling me about it, I already understood the logic behind it. So I said, I can't even judge it before I've even tried to do it. I started meditation like a few months ago when I started this whole agency journey, but I couldn't get into it. I just didn't feel much benefit from it. I would feel motivated for a couple of hours and then my energy levels would drop and I would go back into the same mode that I was in when I started. Don't know if meditation is for me right now, but at the same time, my accountability partner mentioned that meditation really only helps if your mind is already there. If your mind's not with it, you're in a dark place already, it's not going to help because you have all these external voices. Interestingly enough, whenever I did try the meditation, I never had any issues focusing. I never really had external voices coming to me whilst I was trying to meditate. So maybe it could potentially work, but I feel like at this moment in time, I just need to work on myself. Once I've worked on myself, then I can potentially look at trying meditation again. But I think right now it's just not for me. Not for where I am right now at this moment in time anyway. I have been thinking, I'm not sure as to whether I want to get another car right now. I don't really feel like I need it apart from going to the gym and maybe running some errands here and there. But at the same time, I'm saying that and I'm thinking, how long am I really going to be able to live without a car? It's not that I'm never going to get another car, I will, but it's just right now because I feel like I don't need it. Also, my insurance is going to be super expensive. I just don't want to like rush into getting another car because the money that I've got right now, I'm not going to be able to get a nice car anyway. It's going to be a standard car like the Fiat that I had before, so definitely do not want to be driving another Fiat. So I'm just going to take it month by month and see how I get on, and if I decide that, you know what, I do need a car, I feel like I can't live without a car, I will get one, even if it's no, I won't get a shit one, I'll get a nice one. A decent one, better than what I had before anyway. Even though it's Monday, I just feel like I'm already slipping off the bandwagon with everything. I don't know. I've not learned to deal with my emotions and my feelings and the things that I'm going through in a healthy way. I've not learned how to do that yet. But I also understand that it's a process. It's not going to happen straight away. It's going to take time for me to get there. But praying definitely helps. I feel like I let everything out when I pray. I spend a good 10 minutes or so just making dua. It just lets me get everything out that I need to get out. Praying is life-changing, and I think that there's this misconception amongst Muslims, young Muslims especially, that you have to be perfect to be able to pray, which is the complete opposite of what prayer is for. When you pray, it's like this imperfect person is reaching out to their creator to let them know that, God, I'm going through a difficult time and I need you. You pray to God because you need him, not the other way around. For the people that are going through the hardest time, for the people that are going through the most amount of struggles, they are the people that should be praying the most. Islamically, we should all be praying 5 times, right? For some reason, people who sin, even though we all sin, think that they shouldn't be praying. But if you sin, then you have more of a need to pray because you need to ask for forgiveness. You can't ask for forgiveness if you don't pray and you don't make dua. How are you going to ask for forgiveness? What if you die tomorrow and you've not repented for your sins? Prayer is not just for asking for forgiveness, it's also for asking God to make things easier for you, praying for the things that you want in life, manifesting your life. As Muslims, we believe that we manifest our lives by asking God for whatever it is that we want in our future, and that's really what I'm trying to do. So prayer is a big part of my life and it always will be, and I pray that I stay on the right path and that nothing distracts me from praying. I'm not the most learned person when it comes to Islam, but I am quite religious, you know, like in my heart. Whenever people are going through a difficult time, one of the first things I ask them is, do you pray? A lot of the times they don't. And I'm not here to judge anybody, but I do think that prayer helps so much, especially if you go into prayer with a clean heart and the intention that actually God is going to be able to help you because he's all powerful. If God is all powerful, almighty, of course he can help your problems. You just need to turn to him. He's waiting for you to turn to him. It's actually the weekend now. In terms of the business, we're having a couple of people starting on the sales next week on Monday. So we've just kind of been preparing that. That's it really to report on the business side of things. Family life has been getting in the way of my business. I just don't feel motivated to work sometimes. I just don't feel like myself. I've come to the realization that being at home is just not getting me where I want to be. There's just too many distractions. As a female, you have so many responsibilities, so many expectations that your family set out for you literally from the day that you're born. And it's not the same thing for the boys. As a female, the way that I am treated is completely different to the way that my brothers are treated. Sometimes I'm treated like shit, even though I do more for my parents, more for my family than my brothers ever have or ever will do. I've sacrificed so much of my life up until the age that I am now, which is 31. It scares the shit out of me that I'm not where I want to be. If I continue on the trajectory that I'm currently on, I'm not going to get to where I want to be. And it's a hard pill to swallow because I feel like I'm letting people down around me if I don't give them my time, if I be selfish and actually make time for myself. I'm not saying that males don't go through the same thing. Maybe some of you will, especially if you're an only child. Maybe you will be able to relate to what I'm talking about. But I think females will be able to relate more. No matter how much you do for your family and for the people around you, they will never ever be grateful. So it's really, really important that you start putting yourself first if you're not already doing that, because you matter, you come first, your health comes first. You shouldn't allow anybody to make you feel like you don't matter. And in South Asian households, especially Pakistani households, that's very often how we as females are made to feel. Like we are literally the dirt on the floor that you can just step onto. Honestly, these past couple of days has really opened my eyes to the fact that now I need to start focusing on myself, getting myself to where I want to be, and not worrying about how is this person going to cope if I take a step back? How is that person going to cope when I take a step back? Because the harsh reality that I need to face and accept is that things will keep going even when I'm not around. At some point when I do settle down and do get married and have children, they have no choice. So I may as well make the choice now to focus on myself. I can make as many excuses as I want to by saying, oh, my mum wasn't well, that's why I never got the time to work on myself, and work on my business, and I never got the time to focus on making something of myself because I was so busy looking after my family. Nobody has a gun to my head and is telling me to do it. I made that choice to do that myself. I made the choice to sacrifice my own childhood, adulthood, whatever you want to call it. And now that I'm 31 and don't really have much to show for the years that have gone by in my life, I feel upset that I've let it get to this point. I should have taken control of my life before. It doesn't matter how much of my life I give to them, it will never be enough. So from today, I'm gonna put myself first, and that's literally what I've done. I went out, did a bit of shopping in town, even went out for a meal. It wasn't a restaurant, because to be fair, I didn't really want to sit in a restaurant on my own with people staring at me like, why is she sat on her own? Not like I care what people think, but it's like when you're in Bradford, where I live, if you were to go out to a restaurant on your own, everybody would just stare at you because it's predominantly Asians, and Asians have a staring problem, especially the aunties and the uncles. I sat inside like a small restaurant slash takeaway, had some sushi and some salt and pepper fries. It was great. And I've just come home now. Making it in your 20s is the right time. Unfortunately for me, that didn't happen. I let other things get in the way. I focused more on my family than I did myself, but that was my own choice. I'll never regret taking care of my family, but I don't want anybody else to be in my situation when they get to the age of 30 and they're just looking back at their life thinking, what was I doing? Like, why did I not think about using the most active time in my life, which is my 20s, where I have the most amount of energy, least amount of responsibility to actually make it, to actually make something of myself, to make my money, to be financially independent and all the rest of it. Instead, I allowed everything to get to me, my mum's health, everything that was going on in the family, everything that I had to deal with personally, which was a lot. That was what made me fall ill multiple times. That was one of the reasons why I'm not where I want to be. I don't feel lost anymore because I know what I need to do to move forward. This next month in August, I will move out. That's my plan. And to gain my independence and freedom back, because I've not had it for like 3 years. 3 years is a long time. Majority of people get their business to like $1 million plus in terms of revenue. Mine is not even doing a quarter of that. I've struggled so much these last 3 years. Physically, mentally, in every way possible, I have struggled. Now that is where that all changes. This is a time for me to start putting in the work and doing what I said I was going to do, which is sorting my life out. And that happens today. And it's also going to happen now for you as well. So do whatever you need to do to get to wherever you need to be, because you only have one life. You came onto this earth with no one else but yourself, and you will leave this world with no one but yourself. You have one life, so live it, because nobody else is going to come save you. You have to save yourself.
At least that's what I've heard.
Me too.
I don't know what's worse.
Mm.
Just like everything else in that book.
Oh my gosh, I look crazy right now. It's actually Sunday evening. It's now 11:30. As you can see, I've got a bit of a situation going on over here. I thought I would have a little bit of a self-care evenings, put like a face mask on, and the idea is to read the rest of this Jay Shetty book. Well, I want to read half an hour of it. I'm trying to get into a habit of reading every night. I want to get through this book and then order another one. I want to get into the habit of reading books, especially books on self-development, self-improvement, because that's definitely what I'm trying to do at this moment in time, is improve my mental health, give myself some more clarity in life just in general, and put myself in a better mindset that will help me as an entrepreneur get to where I want to be. I don't know if you can take me seriously with this face mask on. I put this coconut water and hydrating mask from Simple. I very rarely wear face masks, but I feel like my skin's been a little bit dry, been a little bit irritated, so I thought I would put a face mask on and see if that will help the irritation. I'm also very close to starting my period, so that's probably another reason why my skin's looking very shitty at this moment in time. My plan right now is to read this book, and then I'm actually going to head to bed for midnight, and then I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. to pray, and my day is going to start at 5 a.m. Really, I should be asleep by now, but it's been a full-on day. I've literally just structured my day, like I've planned my day to a T. So I've been using this app called Structured. Basically, you can use a free version, and there is also like a pro version which you can pay for. It's not really much, but I thought rather than me paying for it and then not using it like many of the apps that I have on my phone and wasting money when I'm trying to save money, I thought I would try this out for minimum a month, see if I actually find it useful, because one thing that I find very difficult to do is manage my time. I'll insert something about this app. I'm just trialing it out at this moment in time. So I've structured my day from 5 a.m. in the morning tomorrow till 11 p.m. at night. My plan tomorrow is to sleep at 11 and get minimum 6 hours of sleeping, but the day is fully packed with lots of shit to do. I'm hoping that I can stick to this routine. I mean, I've even included like travel time because I have a hospital appointment tomorrow, 30 minutes of travel time because it's quite far from where I am. That's how in-depth this thing goes. I don't know if it's on Android, but you can definitely get it on Apple because I have an iPhone. It's called Structured. I'll leave a link to it in the description in case anybody wants to trial the app. Next week is going to be quite a full-on week. I've got lots planned. I'm trying to go into next week with more of a positive mindset, hence why I've structured out my day for tomorrow. My plan is to get on with things in terms of getting myself sorted with a place, getting my business to where I need it to be, getting my shit together. It's so important for me because I'm not happy where I am right now. I'm the one who's in control of my life, so I'm the one that has to be the one to make a difference. Something has to change, right? Not procrastinate, not become lazy, not curl up into a ball and just hide away from the world as I do sometimes, but just give next week my all, get myself to a place where I'll be proud of myself, because right now I'm not proud of myself. We're going to start next week off on a positive note, and we're going to end this vlog on a positive note. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Good night.